Challenge number one, location, location, and location. What does that mean? Well, based on industry data today, okay, 80% of collision repairs do not have the required space to properly perform ADAS calibrations. And I would venture to say 80 to 85% of mechanical repair facilities do not have the space to perform proper calibrations. So that's the challenge. If you don't have the space, where are you going to do the calibrations? Well, now there are some people who say they can do calibrations in the parking lot. I'm a believer that you can't do proper calibrations in a parking lot. Okay. There are some people that believe you can shrink the targets and perform a proper calibration. Until someone shows me the scientific algorithmic numbers that prove that, again, I'm from Missouri, you got to show me. So that's number one. Location, location, location. The shops don't have the space. Challenge number two, equipment. And again, calibration systems need targeting, diagnostics, alignments, lifts, more. And there's a ton of people out there in the business today. But number two is equipment. You have to buy the equipment. And we're going to talk about the investment towards the end of today's session. Then you need personnel, right? You need personnel who are detail-oriented. They don't have to be master technicians, but they need to be detail-oriented. And for those of us who are in the collision industry, the industry's having a hard enough time finding core employees, body and paint, refinish, estimators. And this is another challenge for them in terms of personnel, okay? As well as training, by the way. Let's go on, more challenges. Challenge number four. I've talked to a lot of businesses today, big, small, and in between. And today there are no good, well, I shouldn't say there are no, there's maybe one or two, but most of the businesses I'm talking to today are using 5 or 6 or 7 different systems to try to manage and operate the business. From a sales and marketing perspective, from scheduling, communication, documentation, invoicing, QC, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a challenge. And by the way, the great thing about our industry is the mother, necessity is the mother of invention. And we've got a lot of creative, quote unquote, solutions out there to try to manage a business. But again, big or small or in between, there's really, up until recently, there's not been a good software application to help manage that business. Challenge number 5, you're going to see a slide next on this. Our industry is horrible at identifying ADAS technologies and required calibrations. Horrible. I'm going to show you some stats in a minute. And challenge number 6, the unknown. No one knows what the future is going to be with regard to ADAS and calibrations. People are saying, well, the systems are going to auto calibrate themselves. Well, I haven't seen anything that says that. People are saying, well, it's going to be all dynamic and not static. And again, I haven't seen any statistics that tell me that either. Matter of fact, Honda in their latest Civic allows that. I think it's the blind spot. I think that's what it is in the rear, allows either dynamic or static. And my gut feeling tells me that's the future of sensors, is having the ability to do both. Okay. So those are the challenge, but I want to focus on what I think is one of the biggest challenges. It's challenge number 5. And from my perspective, again, this is just me. I think our entire industry is failing at accurately identifying, documenting, accurately repairing, accurately calibrating, and accurately validating that a safety system and a vehicle safety systems operate as designed before that vehicle is purchased, sold, repaired, or calibrated. And the numbers speak for themselves. Repairified did a study in 2020, identified 85% of the vehicle estimates that they looked at needed a calibration that didn't have one. In February 2022, Scott Caboose is now with iCar, made a statement in a magazine that said they went to CCC last year, looked at a year of Honda repair orders within CCC, and found that 80% of the Hondas that they looked at needed a calibration, did not get one. CCC's most recent numbers, appraisal data shows only 16% of repairable appraisals on current year or newer shows that included a line item for calibration, reprogramming, or flashing. major issue in our industry. Okay. Now it's gonna wash out over time, but how many vehicles are on the road today that need a calibration and haven't got one? A whole bunch. So this is a major challenge.